Alrighty. So let's jump into this presentation. Let me share my screen here. And nope, I have too many things open. Here we go. All right. So today we're going to be talking about a new sector of cryptocurrency called DeFi, or decentralized finance. And this is the cutting edge of crypto technology. And essentially, what it's doing is it's taking everything that the centralized finance system, the system of banks and credit cards and Wall Street and middlemen that we all grew up in, and it's moving all of those to a cryptocurrency based decentralized model. Decentralized meaning that there's no authority, that there's no one who has control over everything. All the power is spread out among the people.
Peer to peer, yeah.
So let's start by just kind of comparing the two and the logic behind them. So centralized finance, banks, credit cards, middlemen, everything you do requires trust and permission from the bankers. So if you try to send somebody some money, especially like $10,000 or more, generally you need permission from the banks. It tends to be a pain in the butt. If you try to make a large purchase, sometimes your card will get blocked. If you try to take out a loan, you might get denied even though you have a great credit score. And these decisions in centralized finance are made behind closed doors. And you may never know why you were denied for that loan or why the bank's not letting you withdraw your own money. In centralized finance, there are very high fees and a lot of intermediaries. Every time we use our Visa or MasterCard at the store, they take like 3% of that transaction from the vendor, which is just crazy. Then there's bank fees, there's account fees, there's wire fees. They find ways to nickel and dime us every single way that they can. This old banking system, the centralized banking system, it's built like a pyramid. It's unsustainable. It funnels all the money to the tippy top. Money transfers are slow. They take a couple of days to a couple of weeks, depending on how much you're trying to transfer. And there's really high barriers to getting into the market. Like if you want to start a bank, good luck. It's heavily regulated and there's very little opportunity for ingenuity. And if you have your money just sitting in a checking account, you're lucky to make 0.1% annual percentage yield. If you have a great credit union and have your money sitting in a savings account, maybe you'll make 2% APY a year. Where with decentralized finance, all of the old offerings that centralized finance has, credit cards, loans, bank accounts, all these things are being duplicated right now in cryptocurrency, except it's open to everybody. It's an equal playing field. All transactions, so anytime that you want to send someone money or anything that you're doing, it all uses smart contracts. And smart contracts are just pieces of code that verify that certain conditions are met. And so long as those conditions are met, permission is simply granted. All decision-making is open source and transparent. So if you, for example, apply for a cryptocurrency loan, you'll be able to see the exact logic why you're accepted or denied. There's no hiding it. Nothing's behind closed doors. There are still fees in making swaps or making trades. However, they're much lower than in centralized finance. They tend to be about 0.1 to 0.3% of a transaction. And all the new systems are built on blockchain. And blockchain is a technology, it's a decentralized technology. So basically, thousands, to millions of computers all over the world are hosting the technology that fuels blockchain. And all of these computers are verifying that the ledger is correct. So, like I read that banks stole like $2 trillion last year by fudging their ledgers. That's not possible on blockchain. Blockchain is 100% verifiable, it's uncheatable, and you can't fudge anything. So you can't steal money on blockchain. It's an amazing technology. When you send money through a blockchain, it's usually pretty much instant. You know, it might take a few seconds, some might take a few minutes. There's very little barriers to getting into cryptocurrency and getting into this new DeFi market. There's very little regulation, which means a lot of opportunity and a lot of ingenuity is going on right now, which I'm excited to share with you some of the things that people have come up with to make amazing returns. So by putting your money into the cryptocurrency equivalent of a checking account, people are making anywhere easily between 10 and 80% APYs on their money. And that's specifically what I want to focus on today, is that strategy. It's called liquidity pooling. So I am going to be using a lot of new terms today. Like I said, please stop me if anything doesn't make sense, and I'll try to explain it another way. For me, the easiest way to understand liquidity pools is to think of it as the crypto equivalent of a checking account. So a quick definition: a market maker is someone who provides liquidity in the form of two different cryptocurrencies, which go into a pool. So think of that as like an account holder at a bank. Like you own a checking account at a bank. A market maker is someone who owns a liquidity pool, or a share in a liquidity pool. Now, one of these liquidity pools has two different cryptocurrencies in it. Let's take the top two cryptos, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and say that those two cryptocurrencies are in a pool. The pool allows other users to easily switch between those two cryptocurrencies, to go from Bitcoin to Ethereum or from Ethereum to Bitcoin, with lower fees and more reliable pricing than the crypto exchange is offering. So people are really liking this model because they are able to trade cryptocurrencies at better rates. But what's really cool about it is that when you're providing liquidity to these pools, the exchange fees that the pool charges are shared among the market makers. They're shared with those people who are providing the liquidity in the pool. It's very similar to how when you deposit your money into a checking or savings account at the bank is then able to loan that money out as loans, you know, mortgage loans, car loans, whatever kind of loans they're offering. And the bank is making money off of the money that you have in your bank account. This is the same idea, but instead of the bank getting all the money, you're getting the fees.
Yeah.
So let's look at this in practice. This is a screenshot from one of the first liquidity pool providers called Uniswap. And let's look at this second pool here with USDC, which is a USD coin. USDC is a stable coin, and stable coin means that its value is always going to stay the same. So USDC, one USDC is always equal to $1 US. And Ethereum is the number 2 cryptocurrency. So this pool currently has $275 million worth of USDC and Ethereum, about half and half of each. In the last 24 hours, we saw $91 million in swaps between these two currencies. So people going from USDC to Ethereum or from Ethereum to USDC. And these swaps generated $275,000 in fees. Now, this $275,000 in fees is split between all the liquidity providers here, everyone who's providing liquidity. So if you had, say, $10,000 sitting in this USDC Ethereum pool, by the end of the year, you would have 13,600 in your account, because right now it's making an annual percentage yield of 36.57%. And that is no risk to your principal. So this Uniswap's about 2 years old. This is an example of a newer liquidity pool platform. This one's called SushiSwap. And on top of offering the same reward mechanism of sharing the fees with users, SushiSwap also adds a second layer of incentives called a reward token or a reward coin. And it's called Sushi. And you'll see here, like this is a pool with a cryptocurrency called Ethereum, or cover and wrapped Ethereum. So for every $1,000 that is in this pool, you would earn 0.287 sushi per day. So if you had about $3,500 in this pool, you would earn about a sushi a day. You can go and sell sushi for about $20 a sushi right now. So between the sushi and the fees that you're earning, people in this pool are currently earning over 200% ROI on their money in a year. So you put in $10,000 into this pool, at the end of the year, you'll have $30,000. I mean, it's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible. This is us becoming the banks.
Yep. And sharing in the wealth together.
Exactly.
The concept.
Yeah.
And there's another example of Badger Finance, which is a very similar model to this. It just came out in December and is offering really great returns like this as well.
Because little do you know right now, you are providing liquidity to your bank just by depositing money in there. So you are, you know, in a sense, in a liquidity pool, yet you're not getting anything from the bank. The banks aren't sharing their fees with you. They're giving you a fraction of 1% interest while they're loaning it out, earning high interest, charging fees. They make more money off of poor people, off of overdrafts and ATM withdrawals and all that stuff. And they don't share a dime with us. So what we did is we took this system that was created back when you know, the Knights of Malta created this banking system using gold and silver coins. They created the system to steal the assets of the world and enslave humanity. Now, with technology, we've turned the tables and created a system of blockchain to unite the people together and actually get our money to work for us instead of us having to work for our money anymore. So we flipped the game.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really amazing what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And there's so much money to be had. So much money to be had.
That has a hugely like spiritual component in it. And when I say spiritual, it's like spiritual in the concept of that giving the people their power back, and giving them thereby freedom in every way, right? It's highly spiritual. I love it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We weren't meant to work 40 hours a week just to pay our living expenses. That's called the rat race. It was designed and created to enslave humanity.
Yes.
We are put here for a bigger purpose, and we have a passion in our purpose, and that's what we need to be exercising every single day. Yet they've created a system for it to pull our attention away from our passion and our purpose and work for the corporations, the big corporations, and make them all the money, and then put the money into the banks who steal all of our money. And then the government creates laws, and they inflate the currency to where they steal more money from us just by printing more of it. They just printed $1.9 trillion. And who did that go to? Only a fraction of that went to the small businesses. The rest of it went to fund, all these cities.
Well, and my big question is, what's backing up that $1 trillion? What's, certainly we don't have enough gold to back it up anymore.
It isn't backing anything. It's the faith and confidence in the U.S. military. That's all it is.
Wow, that's lame.
Yep.
Because that's so lame.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So that's why it's funny how when you say your husband's conservative, if he were to actually research and figure out what he's being conservative with right now, it's probably the most risky situation. Cash is risky because you're losing value every single day they print more of it. And that's why the price of goods and services go up. It's not because, the price of the actual processing is more expensive. With automation, it should be cheaper. With all these machines, everything should be cheaper, but no, they keep going up in value. And it's because it's the perceived value of our currency based on the amount of currency that's in existence.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, very enlightening, John. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
So DeFi, like I said, it's brand new. I don't know if you're familiar with the adoption curve of new technology and new products, but we're moving out of the pioneer phase and just into the early adopters phase. And there's been some barriers to moving into that next phase with DeFi, mainly that, like these programs I showed you, you really need a technical understanding of cryptocurrency for it really to make sense. The user interface is not simple for people who are new to the crypto space to really grasp. Second, there are blockchain limits. There are limits to the technology that, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example, are on different blockchains, and those blockchains don't have the ability to communicate with each other. So if you look at, like, say, Badger Finance here, you'll notice it says wrapped Bitcoin and wrapped Ethereum. And this wrapping process is just an extra layer of complexity that they had to add in order to get these two blockchains to talk to each other. And it's extra time, it's extra fees, it's just a headache to making the DeFi strategy really effective. So that's been a limit on people really using DeFi. And third is that it's had limited scalability, that the existing platforms aren't built to be easily integrated into the crypto exchanges or crypto wallets. So they're just kind of these free floating platforms that exist out there. But the project that we're really excited about is called Thorchain, and their cryptocurrency is called RUNE. And they're the solution to these barriers of DeFi really coming into the mainstream. First off, the user interface of Thorchain is much more simple, and it's easier for new users to come in and learn the system. Second, and this is the real game changer, is that users will easily be able to switch between any cryptocurrencies on their network. They're the first to market with this feature. No one else in the cryptocurrency space has this ability. So where, like with Badger here, they have to wrap Bitcoin and wrap Ethereum, on Thorchain, people will be able just to instantly switch from real Bitcoin to real Ethereum and any other cryptocurrencies that could be on any blockchain. So this is huge.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Juniper, how many times have me or someone told you, hey, this token is the one you should get, and then you go, what? I don't have access to it. I don't know.
Oh my
where to
God,
get
so
it,
many
right?
times.
So many times, and we're like, we're missing a chance. Well, this is the one-stop crypto shop to swap any token you have with any token that exists, right, Prism?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
that's awesome. And I love the
know.
name, I have to say, because Thor chain, I mean, that's awesome. I named my truck Zeus, and I almost named him Thor, but then I was
Yeah.
like, no, Zeus is even better. But I
Yeah.
love Thor chain. Like, that's awesome.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, they let me see if I can switch this here. They have a whole Asgard themed product launch. So they think of their, oh, here it is. They think of Thorchain as the Rainbow Bridge. Oh, it's not updating. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
Thorchain's like the Rainbow Bridge between all the different cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, smart.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So another really exciting thing about it is that it's designed to scale. There's this new term in crypto and especially DeFi called money Legos. And I don't know if you guys played with Legos when you were kids, but
Oh yeah.
essentially it's programs that were designed to fit with each other and to stack on top of each other so that it's really easy to integrate the technology into more and more complex offerings. So Thorchain is built specifically to plug into crypto exchanges and into crypto wallets to make mass adoption easy.
Yeah.
And their first big partnership is with the biggest crypto exchange in the world, with Binance. And they created a test server to test the technology called BEPSwap. And BEPSwap is a shared project between Binance and Thorchain. You'll see up here how much RUNE has been pooled. And this is just a test net. It only has 5,700 users right now. It's already done $7 billion in trades and swaps.
With
And
only 5,700 users.
Yes,
Yeah.
Juniper, we are the top of the 1%. Like imagine being like the language that we're speaking right now, only top 1-2% maybe in the world even speaks this language and understands what we're talking about right now.
Probably less than 0.5%. No one knows this yet.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just gonna say it's a God thing.
Yeah, sure. I just have this idea that Rainbow Bridge for Thorchain is like connecting the 3D with the 5D, right? It's like, because that's the dimensional travel, right? And we're taking the old 3D banking system and converting it to the 5D banking system.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So they partnered with Binance. They have partnership with Ethereum, with SushiSwap, and another really interesting project called Synthetics, which Synthetics is allowing people to trade real world assets like stocks and commodities using cryptocurrency. So all this will be integrated into their platform. And here's some of the reasons why we think that Thorchain is going to see a lot of adoption very quickly. First off, it's providing more incentives. So it's kind of like SushiSwap and Badger offer those reward tokens. The reward token on Thorchain will be RUNE, and they're going to offer higher rewards, especially at the beginning, to incentivize people to come on the network. Two, it's going to offer higher stability. Those existing platforms I showed you, like Uniswap, it's like $1 Bitcoin to $1 of Ethereum, where with Thorchain, it's going to be $3 of RUNE to $1 of Ethereum. And this is going to reduce some of the risk that we see in this strategy. And the biggest risk is called slippage. Slippage occurs when people buy a lot of one cryptocurrency in the pool like say it was Bitcoin and Ethereum. Say they bought a lot of Bitcoin, but people weren't buying a lot of Ethereum on that day. It would cause the price of the fees of Bitcoin to go way, way up, so that the liquidity pool strategy wouldn't be the best choice. So that's kind of like the biggest risk in this, is that the fees can get really, really large if there's too much volume and it's one-sided volume. But ThorChain solves that problem by doing a 3-to-1 ratio. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But with all of this working together, the experts that we follow believe that this is going to create a liquidity feedback loop of bring more and more people into the ThorChain network, where because we're seeing less slippage, that means we're going to get better pricing for traders. They're going to be paying less in fees, because what kind of trader wants to pay more in fees when they can pay less? Which is going to lead to more trading volume on the ThorChain platform, which means that those people who are providing liquidity, the market makers, that they're going to see higher profits. And when other liquidity providers see how much profits are being made on ThorChain, they're going to also want to move their liquidity onto the ThorChain network. And as more liquidity comes on, that'll put more in the pools and allow people to make even bigger swaps. So like an Elon Musk could come in and buy $1 billion in Bitcoin because the pools have enough liquidity for that. So we have a tight time frame for getting the most out of this opportunity possible. Mainnet, ThorChain mainnet launches on April 13th.
Oh, wow.
So we have about 5-6 days before most likely the price of RUNE is just going to go, as we say in crypto, to the moon.
Yay.
So you guys are getting in at the perfect time. It's right before launch. It might be a little bit of a hustle trying to get money into cryptocurrency in the next 5 days, but I believe we can make it happen. So here's what happened to similar projects around the time of their launch. SushiSwap launched in October with a pre-launch price of 60 cents per sushi. I haven't updated this. Today it's trading at about $20 a sushi. Badger was $3.88 per Badger before their launch. Now it hit a high of about 80. Now it's trading around 40. Synthetics started around 50 cents. Now it's trading over 20. RUNE, its current high is $10.60. We're expecting it to 5x by launch or around launch. So here in the next month or so, we're expecting it to go up to about $50. And
Wow.
we're
In the
expecting
next
it to
month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Awesome.
And we're expecting it to reach $100 by the end of 2021.
'Cause
So
the way that RUNE is valued is the amount of liquidity that's in the exchange. So when an exchange opens and it works good, like we know this one is going to be very attractive. There's no KYC required.
What's KYC?
Know your customer, where you have to submit your identity information. So
Okay.
which a lot of people don't like that, because then you're providing your social security number and some information that tax implications and stuff like that. So people
Right.
like the type that's no KYC. And then so the amount of money that gets put into the exchange increases the value of the native token of the blockchain. So just by having people play the game, that's increasing the value of our initial investment into the liquidity pool.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
So this here is a really neat tool that ThorChain provides that is able to simulate the value of RUNE based on how much assets are locked into their network. So you can think of RUNE as a partially deterministic value, that its base value is based on how much of other cryptocurrencies are in the Thorchain network. So it's that plus supply and demand. So let's play with this. This is the top 3 cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Binance Coin. Excuse me.
Hi.
So this column here is estimating what the price is going to be.
Oh,
So
your sound changed.
Yeah, adjust
I'm
the
not.
sound, Pete. After you sneeze something, check your wires.
check my wires. How's now?
Still sound like a robot.
Oh boy. Okay.
Right after you sneeze, it was weird. I don't know what you bumped or something, but powerful sneeze.
Let me see what I can do here.
Okay.
Do I still sound robotic?
Yeah, same.
All right, I'm gonna leave and hop back in. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny.
Gonna reboot.
Yeah.
So John, while he's
Yeah.
popping back in, I
Sure.
have some money, or I mean, I have some cryptocurrency already that is in Abra. But there was like a 60-day period that, like, I remember when I first, put my money in there, I
Mhm.
got a message that said, like, basically you're not allowed to withdraw it for 60 days, which
Yeah.
the first 2,000 that I put in is already past 60 days, and the other 2,900 that I put in is coming up on that soon, but
Yeah.
not, it's like, in the next week or so.
Okay.
So yeah, he mentioned something about, it might be a little bit of a challenge just to get money into crypto between now and April 13th.
Uh-huh.
So that's something I was, just slightly concerned about, I guess.
Yeah, because being in Hawaii, it's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about all the different ways that I go about it when we get off this this Zoom, and we'll come up with an option for you. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Do I still sound like a robot, or is it better?
Much better.
Much
You
better,
sound
yeah.
like a computer I know
All
and
right,
love.
perfect. So this chart it's able to simulate the value of RUNE. So let's look at by December 2021. This is where I think the numbers will be. So for now, let's just assume this column is estimating the price of each of these, that the price of BNB, Ethereum, and Bitcoin stays about the same as it is now. And we see 1% of BNB, 1% of Ethereum, and 1% of Bitcoin locked into the Thorchain network, which I think is reasonable based on the performance of similar platforms. Right now,
Okay.
that means that we'll get a 15 times multiplier on the purchase price today and a simulated per RUNE value of $144.
Gotcha.
So this is approximately what and a lot of the experts that I follow predict the price will be by the end of the year.
Yep.
Now, by the end of 2022, I mentioned that this is a money Lego, that it plugs into other products. It's
Right.
almost certainly going to be plugged into Binance. And I use a crypto wallet called Trust Wallet. It has over 5 million downloads on the Google Play Store alone. It's probably the most popular wallet in the world.
And you think that's better than Exodus?
I mean, they're all good. They all have different functions.
Okay, 'cause I'm looking at getting a crypto wallet right now because I just have Abra, which is what I was just explaining to John. And I'm now wanting to, now that my funds that are in Abra are freed or being freed up to withdraw because they have like a 60-day hold. I was looking at moving them into a wallet, and I had heard Exodus is a good one, but I'm all about things being user friendly since I'm not super tech savvy. So
Yeah.
that's for me, you know, where the most value lies is being user friendly. And so Exodus I had heard is good, but if you recommend Trust, I will definitely look into that because I'm, you know, a baby in this field.
Trust is good, but I'm actually going to recommend a different wallet here starting next week. And
Okay.
that's the Thorchain wallet. It's gonna be a multi-chain
Oh,
wallet.
okay.
You can easily put your money into liquidity pools.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
So-
They're gonna have a wallet. Awesome. That's great.
for sure.
So, well, with Trust Wallet, right? So Trust Wallet has like 5 million users, maybe 10 million users, including the Apple App Store. They are currently working on integrating the Thorchain technology. And so once they integrate that technology, with a couple clicks of a button, someone could take their assets that are just sitting in the wallet doing nothing and easily put them into liquidity pools, which is going to make this just blow up like crazy. We're going to see a huge influx of capital into liquidity pools. And so between Binance and Trust Wallet alone, we'll probably see a 5% adoption of Thorchain, which would bring the value of each coin up to about $656.
Each
Now,
rune.
each rune that right now we can buy for under 10.
Wow.
And
That's
if
crazy.
we get a couple more exchanges and wallets to adopt it and we get 10% of all the cryptos, that's a $1,300 per rune value.
Yeah.
And that's only if the current price of Bitcoin stays the same. If we see Bitcoin go up to $100,000 in the next year, like everyone's predicting,
Yep.
we'll see each
Wow.
rune go up to almost $2,300.
Yeah,
Wow.
So
And that's by December 2022.
it could even be sooner.
could be
That-
sooner.
Right. But that was the projection that you just showed us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because the
Gotcha.
charts that I've seen are showing Bitcoin in the $200,000 to $288,000, okay, per Bitcoin by the end of the year. And
Yeah, I've heard that too.
that's just the next cycle high, and
Mhm.
that
So if
just
it goes
changed
that high,
completely. And I mean, so these numbers are going to happen. It's just a matter of time, right? It's
Right.
the adoption, because like you're getting educated right now. The more of these kinds of meetings and education happens, the more people are going to feel comfortable and make the switch. And so
Yes.
it's just a matter of time, and we are obviously getting in way early. So
Mhm.
yeah.
all right. So we've covered two aspects of this Thorchain opportunity so far, right? One is the liquidity pool strategy. Two is simply the growth in the coin value, which is going to be insane. And there's a third aspect to it. So if you think of the liquidity pool as a crypto checking account, you can think of a node as a crypto bank. A node is a server that hosts the Thorchain technology and all the liquidity pools. So like, it's not easy to run a node. You need to have advanced computer engineering. Excuse my dog. Let me go yell at her real quick.
Good guard dog. Peter forgot to say, but wait, there's more.
Right?
I apologize.
That's all right.
I have a puppy I'm teaching not to bark right now, and I'm not doing a great job with it.
Progress.
So it's not easy to run a node. You need to have like advanced computer software engineering experience. But the rewards are great. So liquidity pools on this network, all the profits, all the fees that are generated through Thorchain are shared among the community. There's no company, there's no central entity that's making the majority of the profits. It's all being shared equally across the network. So 1/3 of those fees are going to the liquidity pool providers, to the liquidity, to the market makers. And the other 2/3 are going to the node owners. So right now they're estimating that a node will generate between 62 and 66,000 RUNE per month that we would be able to distribute between the co-owners of this node.
Wow.
So in order to get a node, you need 500,000 to 1 million RUNE. The more you have, the better. And that RUNE becomes bonded or locked up in the node to be an insurance policy for the node. So if any of the pools become unstable, the Thorchain node pulls from that reserve to balance the pools back out, and then we'll put it back once the pools are balanced. So this is what we're really going for as a community. We're working on getting this so we can fund like the New Earth projects that the old banking system just won't really give the time of day. Things like this retreat and spa center that you want to build in Kauai.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah, and the profits from this are ridiculous. You can see over here at the various prices of RUNE, at how much it'll generate each month in capital.
Wow.
So, I mean, imagine our collective pool, once RUNE hits $500, of having $31 million to put towards world-changing projects.
Ugh.
That right
That's
now,
per month.
that's per month.
And that's residual income. Like
That's incredible.
on top of our original principal going from $10 to $500. So that's a 50x on our initial money. So you put in 10 grand, turns into $500,000, right? And you get a percentage of that 31 million every single month as residual income. And it comes
awesome.
in the form of cryptocurrency that's non-taxable. So it'll be up to you to, and we can talk about how to, convert that crypto into the asset that you want.
Yeah. So there's 3 ROIs of this investment. Like we said, the growth in the coin value, entering assets into liquidity pools to earn very large APYs, and these node rewards. This is my investor slide deck. Do you guys want to hear about the team that we put together, some of the big wigs that are helping advise us, or do you want me to skip to the
Since we're recording this, go ahead and go through it so that she can, so Juniper and I can send this to our other people, okay?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Yeah.
So we realized the opportunity in this back in like late January, early February, and we've been going to friends and family to share this with them. So it just started as a friends and family raise, working together to try to get enough RUNE to get one of these nodes, because we saw the potential that it could be for new paradigm projects. And we presented to one of our whales. His name's Brian Wasserman, and he's a big, like, he was then a Wall Street guy, has taken over 100 companies public. He's worth quite a bit himself. And when we presented this to him, he did his due diligence and came back and said, guys, this is the best opportunity that I've ever seen. Can I help you build this? Can I help you build this company?
Yeah.
And we were like, yes, we love Brian. He's a burner. He's one of the most amazing people we know. And so we're really, we feel really blessed to have him guiding us as CEO on this project. We have Richard Plotka, who is the administrative director of RPI Institute out of New York. RPI is one of the cutting edge computer engineering schools in the world. They have the fastest supercomputer in the world. And so he's advising us from a technical side. And when we start building additional products on top of the node, like credit cards, crypto credit cards, and crypto loans and various things, he'll be able to advise us and help us bring on more really good programmers to build it. And then we have one of my best friends in the world, Tyler Jensen, who is basically one of the youngest people to ever make principal software architect at Microsoft. He is literally one of the best programmers in the world right now. He helped basically pioneer cloud architecture. And right now he's working in artificial intelligence in Microsoft. And he's the one who's going to be running our node. And he's the one who's making sure that it is up and running, that everything is copacetic, and to help us deal with any problems if they were to come up. So on top of that, we have the Arcadia team, which is our crypto researchers. We have me, who's on onboarding and helping people understand this opportunity. John's also on my team here. And we have a secret weapon, who is my younger brother, who is on the cutting edge of cryptocurrency on the DeFi space. And he needs to remain anonymous because that's part of the crypto space right now, in this, particularly the DeFi crypto space. So we call him the crypto alchemist, and he advises us on the most effective strategies. He spends literally his whole time researching cryptocurrency and DeFi. So we kind of have two ways to get involved in this. This is the model that we put together for our friends and family. And this is what we first started offering people to get involved. And the way it works is that you would put in as much as you can, however much you want to do, ideally at least a couple $1,000. But I've had people put in, as little as 500. And that initial investment would be split into 3 different pools. 25% would go into your personal pool, which completely belongs to you. It would be managed by our team here at Arcadia, but you'd be able to withdraw your earnings and either sell it for USD, or we'd help you set up a crypto credit card at any time. But that's yours to do whatever you want with at any time. 50% would go into the node pool, and the node pool's only goal is to get the collective a node. Once that node goal is reached, you'd become a part owner in a crypto bank, and you'll see part of that earnings, part of those 62,000 RUNE that's generated every month will be yours. And then 25% goes to Arcadia, our community out here in Arizona, to support the management cost of facilitating this opportunity. We have to pay Tyler $500,000 a year to be our node manager and our head software engineer. We have a team of 4 right now on this crypto project, and we're each spending 2 to 3 hours a day doing crypto research. So this just covers, it's a one-time fee to cover all of our management costs and to help grow our community and the offerings.
That makes sense. I have a question about Arcadia real quick, if you don't mind me just jumping in.
Sure.
Is that a part of the Earth Nation? Is that an Earth Nation hub?
No.
Okay.
I co-founded Earth Nation with Dakota and Leela a handful of years ago, and have since had a falling out with Dakota. And you know, I love him. I
understand.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
just say that. I love him too. I understand.
Yeah.
So we're not affiliated with Earth Nation, other than the fact that Earth Nation brought us together.
Right. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that. I was just wondering because I am technically a member of Earth Nation, and I know that in the past, or what Dakota had said, you know, was that there was certain like places that he had partnered with where I could go and, you know, like visit as a member and like stuff like that. So that's why I was asking, because I was thinking it'd be cool to come visit there sometime.
We're not in the Earth Nation network, but you are welcome to come visit anytime.
Right on.
So this is one model. Let me pull up the spreadsheet here. So this is just a spreadsheet I put together that estimates what kind of profits you could expect. So right now we're getting about a $9 per coin price. Do you want me to plug in a specific number as far as an investment to see the ROI?
I would love to see what a $10,000 investment would do. Yes, please.
All right, so 10,000. So at today's
Oh,
rate,
look at those numbers.
1111.
11 is my number. How did that happen?
So this chart assumes that each year you're going to take out 10% of the earnings to just have a little bit of extra spending money, and you'll keep 90% in to compound your long-term earnings. And it also assumes that the Arcadia team will be able to get you an 80% annual APY, which we're confident we could do that or better. So the initial split, you would get 277 into your member pool, about 550
277 what?
RUNE.
RUNE. Okay, just want to make sure I figured that's what you meant, but I just wanted to clarify.
Right. 50% of that investment, you know, about 555 would go into the node pool. So by the end of year one, you would have 450 coins in your personal account, which would be a value. This is only if RUNE hits $25. This is very conservative. I think by the end of year one, we'll be at 100, but just to be conservative.
Sure.
Your personal pool that you'd be able to withdraw at any time would be worth $11,000, and you get about an extra $1,200 a year that year in spending money. Now, by the end of year two, we'll probably be at $500, but comfortably $100. Your principal would be worth about $72,000, and you'd be receiving about $8,000 extra that year in spending money. By year three, if we only reach 100, by year four at $500 RUNE valuation, we're almost at $1 million, and you'd be making an extra $100,000 in spending money. And by the end of 7 years, we're talking over $4 million and 450,000 extra dollars in spending money a year.
Wow. And that's conservative. That's conservative numbers.
This is it's crazy. This is the crypto gold rush.
Yeah.
And you know, just to be balanced, let's talk about risks. So there are risks, of course, in any investment. There are two risks that I foresee and that we foresee in this space. One is that there's another cryptocurrency bubble, and that's already predicted. The experts that we follow believe that there's going to be a bubble next year, and we might see another big dip. And if that happens, we'll see potentially a partial loss of investment. But that's not actually a bad thing in this strategy, because the way the RUNE rewards work, say we're in RUNE and Ethereum, and the price of RUNE and Ethereum just keep going up, 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 up. You're going to earn less rewards. You're going to earn less extra RUNE in that case. Where if the price of RUNE and Ethereum both drop, you're going to earn extra RUNE. The rewards actually increase if the value of the coins go down. So we might see a temporary dip in the total value of the portfolio, but once the crypto markets recover, we'll end up having a lot more RUNE and a lot more assets because of that dip. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that does. That's cool. I mean, that kind of mitigates the risks a bit.
So we may see a temporary loss in total value, but long run, it would actually be good. The other unpredictable currently is government regulation. We have no idea what the government could do. Right now, it's seeming like more and more banks are saying yes to crypto. We've been seeing some major banks open up crypto investing wings. And so hopefully the government's not going to regulate this. If they do, that could cause problems, but they're not slated to do any sort of governance on this for at least a year. So we're good for at least a year on the government regulation side. After that, we don't know. But the good thing is our team includes Brian Wasserman, who is an expert in government regulations. He's taken tons of companies public, and he's going to be staying on top of all of that, so that if regulations are rolling down, we'll be prepared and positioned well.
Excellent.
So when one of the richest men in the world, Elon Musk, the wealthiest hedge fund, BlackRock, have both invested in Bitcoin, and they both state that they're not going to sell and convert back to US dollars, right? PayPal, which it has over 300 million users, is now accepting Bitcoin and Litecoin as payments.
Oh, wow.
Visa and MasterCard are now allowing Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies to go through their platform. The system has basically chosen that even with government regulation, it's going to continue to thrive because they can't compete with it. So they have to join in to basically play with us.
And China just released their first cryptocurrency.
Which one?
I don't know the name of it, but I mean, I literally just heard about this yesterday, that China now is releasing cryptocurrency.
Look into that one.
Yeah, so that was just something that, was another just affirmation for me. Like, okay, this is happening on a bigger level as well.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
lots of progress.
What questions? Do you guys have any questions about this? Or there's also another investment model, but it's mainly for people who are looking to do $50,000 or more. It's more like institutional accredited investor model.
I have a question. Sorry, go ahead, Mom.
I lost the screen with Peter. I can't see him, or I can't see the charts at all.
Peter went
Oh,
off.
I can turn those back on if you'd like.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you're done. Gotcha. Okay.
Oh yeah, I finished the presentation part, so I just
Okay, great.
turned it
Oh
off.
yeah. Oh, that's fine. I have several questions, but Juniper, go ahead first. There's no rush.
Well, because I have a few people that are interested in doing this as well, I wasn't sure about my ability to offer it to them, because I know that this is sort of like a friends and family opportunity to invest at this level. And so I want to know how I could, share this with other people, and what would be the process to go about that.
Sure. So we originally were just doing friends and family. Now we actually have an LLC set up, and we're like able to take people who we don't directly know. We're able to take some of their funds. So what we're doing is we're offering a commission on anyone that people bring in. So if you have some friends who are at the 50,000 or less level, I can do a 4.86% referral fee. So you would get 4.86% of the coins that they put in. That would come out of Arcadia's pocket. And if you have bigger players who would be more interested in doing our LLC stock option, we're also doing a referral fee for that per $100,000, that you would get half a percentage point of what they put in, up to 5%.
Up to 5%. Okay. Wow. Okay, cool. That's good to know. So I will be able to share this presentation with people since you recorded it, correct?
Yeah, and I'm happy to hop on a live call as well.
Okay.
Especially
awesome.
between now and launch, that's my sole focus, is getting our network enough RUNE to become a node.
Excellent. That's a great goal. I'm stoked. Yeah, I'm really excited to be a part of this. So, I mean, for me personally, I just need to figure out how to get my funds into this, because I guess, well, I was explaining to John earlier that I have some funds in Abra. I have about $5,200 of funds in Abra right now. And 2,000 of that I can move out of Abra, but there was a 60-day hold on being able to transfer funds out of Abra after they were initially deposited in. And that would be coming up, I think, on the 16th of April would be the other $2,900 would be released from that 60-day hold. And then I have other funds, like in my bank account, and I have some in the stock market right now as well. So I would need to explore how to transfer those funds into this project by the 13th.
Yeah, and John and I are here to help everyone on board and help them figure all that out.
Yeah, because I would like to go in with at least $10,000, maybe more.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
We'll figure that out for you.
Okay, Mom, you want to go ahead and ask your questions? Yeah, so since I'm a baby with this, so we take the dollars and invest them into the Bitcoin. And once we want to say we've, found the perfect property in Kauai and we want to pay for it, how do we do that?
So it depends on when you're going to be purchasing the property, but right now there's already bitcoinrealestate.com, where there's a bunch of real estate that's available to be purchased directly with Bitcoin. More and more platforms and what I consider usability platforms, where like Elon Musk, you can buy a Tesla now with Bitcoin. More and more car dealerships are going to be offering it. The platforms are going to be opening up so that you can spend your Bitcoin direct. The other way is there are ways you can turn your Bitcoin or RUNE or other tokens into a loan. So where you still keep your Bitcoin, this is my favorite, where you still own your Bitcoin, but you convert it into the fiat money that you want. So they send you a wire of US dollars and they hold your Bitcoin as the collateral to create the loan. So there's no credit to qualify, there's nothing. It's only the collateral itself that you use to create the debt. And then that debt is now in your bank account that you can use to purchase that asset free and clear of a real debt. Then the only thing you have to do is pay that loan back. And there's a bunch of different ways you can pay the loan. I think you can pay with cryptocurrency or cash, but just make sure you pay that loan back so that you can get you know, your original collateral Bitcoin or other token back, because you don't want to lose that. You never want to sell your Bitcoin. This is a really important thing to understand. Once you get a hold of your Bitcoin, you don't want to sell it. It's going to go up, and it has basically an infinite amount of value. There's no, you can't say, oh, it's only going to get to this amount. Oh, it will hit this amount. It all depends on supply and demand. And if we're in the beginning stages of demand, the potential price, the value, the purchasing power of Bitcoin against the current US dollar is infinite. So you can't really put a price on it. So that's why you don't want to ever sell it, because it's going to eventually be, I don't want to say priceless, but it could be very, very, you know.
No, I see what you're saying. So if we were buying a property and they didn't acknowledge Bitcoin yet, or Bitcoin payment,
Yeah.
then we couldn't really use it for that, right?
Well, you could. You would just have to pull out of the crypto market. It's pretty easy to go from Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency back into US dollars.
Oh, that was my question.
It's a taxable event, and so depending on how much you withdraw,
Okay.
you may have to pay capital gains tax, just like pulling out of the stock market.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's very simple to do.
It's doable. I guess I didn't know how to word it, but it's doable to put it back into dollar value.
It's definitely doable, but the amount of money that you might have to pay in taxes as capital gains takes away from a lot of your money. And I'm trying to teach you how to do it, and I can show you potentially how to do it without having to go through that. So, and I think as we go along here, more and more of these off ramps are going to be offered. So.
Right, because it's mutually beneficial. It would be beneficial for somebody selling land to receive the payment through Bitcoin rather than US dollars, to also avoid paying extra taxes as well, correct?
Potentially, yeah. Depends on their situation, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
It depends on if they have a lot of stuff. Yeah.
My other question is, if I don't want to spend a lot of time getting into the education of the details myself, but I do want to invest in it, and I want my asset to grow in the Bitcoin world, would you guys be able to help me manage that?
That's why we're here.
Okay, I wanted to hear that 100% affirmative, because as me, like, I love this. I love the principle of it a lot already, even though you did such a great presentation that it makes me a big believer in it already. But my daily time is so much spent in the world of body healing and writing and other things that I wouldn't really want to become a student of it.
Yeah.
So to know that you guys are there and that you're trustworthy and that I would be in good hands, it's kind of like our financial asset person right now that manages our financial assets in the world of the stock market and different investments. But it would be you guys with Bitcoin instead.
Exactly. That's why we're here. That's why we created this.
And you
And
guys,
you
that's
can
why
reach
you
out to
also
me
get
anytime.
the 25%, which makes sense to me because you guys have to be paid for your time and your specialty. It's like your whole calling, your mission and your purpose.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense to me. And I mean the longevity of it, because you guys are being paid, right? You're gonna do the due diligence and show up and remain cutting edge for all of us that don't have the time to put into it like you do.
Exactly.
So I appreciate you already. My other, so yeah, I'm fully convinced and I'm fully on board. My challenge now is I have one more day at home, and then on Friday we're leaving to go down to California to visit our kids and grandkids, and we don't actually come home until next Tuesday, which is the 13th. So I have a very brief turnaround of another day to do something about this, literally. I suppose I could do it from down there too, but it would be, I mean, I can take my iPad anywhere, but I'm just trying to feel into this. It's almost like I need to force my husband to watch a presentation to free up the amount that I'd like to put in. Because I know that if he would just see your presentation, maybe his mind would open up, because he would see that it's based in something that is very solid, more solid than our actual normal dollar economy right now, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I explained it in detail, but after watching this, if he has more questions, I am 100% available at any time. You can call me and I can go over it and answer any of his questions, because once he does finally grasp the difference, like Pete and I think Juniper is starting to understand too, you get to a point where you're like, wow, it's an aha moment. Wow, wait a second. We've been lied
Right.
to our whole life about how money works.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've created something that is going to give freedom and sovereignty and unify the people. Like, come on, you
Yeah.
you got to be all for that. And it's, you know, it's like anything though. You don't throw all your eggs in one basket. But if it's money that you're not going, here, this is the way I put it. If it's money you're not going to touch for the next 3 to 5 years, why have it in a savings account earning less than 1%, or even the stock market earning, you know, an average of 5% a year, right? In a type of currency that can be manipulated by the amount of money that they print, and you know that they're going to continue to print more and more. They're coming out with a what's called an infrastructure bill. And this infrastructure bill is going to be $3 to $4 trillion. Do you understand how much money that is? Like, no one
I can't
really
wrap my mind around that.
It's crazy, right? So putting that much more money into the system provides that much more liquidity into the system. It dilutes the purchasing power of all of our money. It's like a legal way of taxing and stealing money from us.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be legal, but that's
Yeah.
the Federal Reserve private corporation that has conspired with the people that all met on Jekyll Island to create a system of slavery where only the people at the top thrive and the rest of us suffer. And we're done with that system. We are completely transitioning to the new. And the people that are in understanding of education, of why and how, and you know, getting and just making the actual move to do it, are the ones that are going to benefit the most.
Right.
So we're here to help onboard and educate. And for me, it was an easy decision once I got educated. So it's like a no-brainer once you understand how it works. So that's why we're here.
You know, our financial manager right now, he was able to do about 18% on our total asset last year. Which is, you know, it's better than most. He's good. But I think if my husband sees the percentage rate of how this is gonna go up in the next year or 2 or 3. It's just, there's not even any comparison. Um, it's so much bigger, so.
Yeah.
And so if I would say, they free up 10,000 or 20,000 by tomorrow, where would I send it? How would I do it? You know, how quickly, how much time does it need to come through?
Don't worry about rushing the time frame.
Okay.
Obviously, the main net launches on the 13th. The best case scenario is to get it into RUNE before the 13th. But we're not trying to rush you because we're still going to be accumulating RUNE for the next foreseeable future, right?
Okay.
We're going to be accumulating because that's the tool, that's the utility that creates these nodes that generate residual income. So we're constantly going to be building towards that. If you have money in US dollars right now, Juniper and I and Pete can help you figure out the right wallet to get to where you set up your bank account and you link it to it. And then you can take the money right out of your bank account and it gets converted right into cryptocurrency. So I can send you a link and you can set it up right on your phone. You can use your debit card to buy the cryptocurrency. And for the first 30 days, it's 100% free of any fees as well. So you get 100% of that purchase. So I'll send that link to Juniper right now, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
Well,
Perfect.
thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
Awesome.
one thing that you could do tonight, Susanna, there's an app on your phone that you could download called crypto.com, and Juniper, you
Okay.
can do this too. They allow you to purchase, I think, up to $12,500 of cryptocurrency per week using a debit or credit card, which should become instantly available. More than
that's-
that, more than that, you'd have to do a bank transfer or a wire transfer, and that can take a couple days. But the debit card purchases are instant.
It's called crypto what again? The app?
Crypto.com.
Yeah, I'm sending you the link right now, Jennifer.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You bet.
And
Uh,
if you guys need any help on onboarding of getting the money from fiat to crypto, and then crypto over to RUNE, John and I are here to help. Reach out to John, and he'll probably be able to help you with it 100%. And if he needs a little help, I'm here to back him up.
Yeah, right on.
Cool. Thank you. And I wanted just to make sure too that my mom's investment, I would get that percentage, that 4.86% rewards on her investment. Yeah.
Yep, we can make that happen. Just remind me when her investment comes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure that she's
Yeah,
included in one of the people that I bring in.
Okay.
And then I will likely have 2 to 3 other people that are interested in getting in, probably, at a little bit of a smaller amount, but definitely still in the thousands. So that'll be awesome as well.
Got it.
Perfect.
One more question. Is it recommended for me to open a bank account through my bank just for this?
No, you shouldn't have to do that.
No.
So I could even just use my business account to,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I
thank you
just
so much,
my
guys.
American Savings bank account right now with like my Abra. So I think Mom, with like your US bank, that should be fine.
So a little hint, a lot of people are getting what are called PPP or like SBA loans, and it's going into their business account. So if you get an SBA loan, be careful not to transfer money from your business account into the crypto.com website, because that money is supposed to be used for your business. And if they, you know what I mean? If they see it's being purchased, they're purchasing cryptocurrency, they know you're not spending it on your business. So that's just one piece of advice. When you mentioned your business account that
I think,
you want to make sure you're not doing.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have any of those loans.
Okay,
And I transferred my funds into a different bank account.
perfect. Yep. That's
Yeah.
the best thing to do. Yep.
So I'm good on that. But yeah, thanks for that reminder. And that actually was something, Mom, that I know you were interested in talking to John about, which could be done in a separate conversation. But that loan that I had told you about, I think it was the SBA loan opportunity based on your 2019 taxes.
okay,
So if that's something you want to chat with John about separately, I just wanted to remind you that that is still an opportunity that is really awesome right now and could get you, I think it was double of whatever your annual gross income was for 2019, you could get loaned to you in one chunk right now, potentially, if you were to apply for this loan. Is that correct, John?
Yeah. Yeah. I can look at her tax returns and see if she can qualify.
okay. Let's see, there was another question I had. Oh, how soon could, if my husband would be willing to look at this in the next day or two, how soon would you guys have time again to do another presentation? Or
I'm available
be the best-
24/7.
oh, yes, I don't even expect that.
Like right now, my one goal is to get our collective a node, and we're about 80 to 90% of the way there.
Nice.
And
Oh, wow. That's good to know. I didn't realize you were
I
already
wanna
that
be-
far along.
I want
Yeah.
to be part of your node though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We
are.
are like, we want it.
yeah,
Once we get that note, it's game over, ladies. I'm telling you, it's game over.
I
That is
already got educated enough to see that. That's why I'm
Yeah.
like,
that
wow, we got to do this soon.
residual income is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah.
I wish
So,
Jeff had joined us on this presentation.
well,
Well,
that's why I
gets
would
to listen to it.
literally, like, I'm gonna literally lay it on his heart to look at this tomorrow.
Nice.
well, as soon as
Yeah.
this video is done rendering, it'll probably take about an hour to render, and then I'll send it over to John, and you can send it over to you, Juniper, and you can send it to your mom.
Okay, perfect.
The
That
same
sounds great.
presentation.
Yep.
We just recorded the one today. We're still recording right now.
Okay, so do you think I should just show him that, or should we get on live again with him, Peter?
Whatever you prefer. I like doing it live so I can answer people's questions.
I think that would be good. Maybe he can look at the presentation ahead of time to
Yes.
kind of start
Yeah.
feeling into it and getting kind of a
Yeah.
an overview, understanding. But I feel like having you guys there live will help appease his questions right away that are going to come up.
Yep.
They're going to probably be way more than mine. But if we can get him on board, that will be huge. It will be really amazing. It would be not only a financial breakthrough, but a spiritual breakthrough. So I'm going to really set that intention out spiritually as well.
Sounds great. Yeah, have him watch the recording, and then he'll be, we'll be able to do like a quicker version of it next time, because he would have had like the basic foundation of understanding, so that we can
Right.
set that presentation up and just get to the Q&A part, right? So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Then he'll have an opportunity to write down his questions
be prepared.
in
Yep.
advance before getting on live.
Perfect.
And that'll
Exactly.
be perfect, because I'm sure that, he'll have some questions that will come up, kind of after the fact, even after it kind of like settles in and he's able to wrap his mind around a little bit more
Yeah.
too.
That
Perfect.
would be great. And so I'm gonna ask him, like, will this come through, you said, in the next few hours?
Yeah.
And will it be emailed to me or emailed to Juniper? How?
Email to
how-
Juniper, and then she'll forward it to you.
Okay, great. And so I'll see that, and he could actually start reviewing it. We're 3 hours ahead here, so he'll probably be willing to look at it in the morning. So if he says, okay, green light, I want to hear more, are you guys available tomorrow afternoon at some point?
Yeah, right now, let me pull my calendar here. You can either hop, I have 4 webinars right now scheduled for tomorrow, and these are all
Okay.
in Pacific time at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, and 8 p.m. But I can schedule another one as well if none of those times are convenient.
9, 10, noon, and what else?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. Okay. Yeah, I think for him it would be more like 10 or noon. Okay. And then to tap back into you, how do I do that?
Let me post my phone number here. You can
Okay.
you can text, call, Telegram, Signal, WhatsApp. Got it all.
And that'll come through on the email with the presentation.
Yeah, I'll get it all to you.
Okay,
I'll send it
thank
all
you
to
so much.
Juniper. As soon as Peter sends me the recording, I'll get everything over to you, okay?
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Peter, for your time, and John as well.
You got it.
Absolutely.
Wonderful talking to you guys.
You
Thank
too.
you so much. And I just am writing down your number really quick. Let me see, where did it go? Oh,
Click
it's in
on
the
chat.
chat.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Awesome. Thank
Perfect,
you
guys.
so much for taking the time and energy to educate us and share this opportunity with us. I love what you guys are doing. I'm super grateful to be a part of it and really excited to
Oh, yeah.
get on board, because this is exactly the kind of thing that we've been calling in, and literally the day before you brought this to my attention, John, like I was standing here in my kitchen with a friend of mine and we were talking about crypto, and she just got back to the island, and it was like really magical alignment the way that we came together. And we were like, yeah, like we just need to like get in on something at the ground level that we know is going to take off, and just like invest in it and not have to like look at it or do anything for a while, and just know that it's going to be awesome. And the next day we get on the phone and you're like, hey, there's this crypto bank opportunity. And yeah, exactly. And I just knew that it was exactly an answer to prayer, like the answer to prayer that I was calling in, and just, you know, really having faith in the divine alignment of this whole opportunity. So thank you again. Appreciate it so much, and really excited to move forward.
No problem. Right on. Well, I got to run here, but if you need
Great
anything,
meeting you
let me
guys.
know. Great meeting.
Sounds good. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Wonderful to
Aloha.
meet both
Take
of
care,
you.
everybody.
Aloha, John. Aloha, Peter.